ॐ भद्रं कर्णैभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागं सस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. We offer our salutations to the all-loving being who endows all beings with consciousness. We meditate on the Lord, who is the origin of the universe. Lord, thou abidest in all. Thou art all. Thou assumest all forms. Thou art the origin and goal of all. Thou art the self of all. Thou art existence, knowledge, and bliss. Salutations unto thee. May the world be peaceful. May the wicked become gentle. May all creatures think of mutual welfare. May their minds be occupied with what is spiritual and abiding. May our hearts be immersed in selfless love for the Lord. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. It's a very special service today on the occasion of the birth anniversary of Holy Mother Sri Sarada Devi, whose life is a great teaching for everyone in the modern world. In fact, the unique person who shows us how to live life which is oriented to the highest purpose and yet very practical day-to-day living. And so we are having a symposium on Holy Mother on this very special occasion. And this symposium we started having on the birthdays a symposium like this because Swami Vivekananda in one of his letters alludes to this, that celebration of birthday should not be just limited to a ritual worship and singing and feeding, but something by way of the teachings, spiritual teachings, must be included in that. So today we are having two speakers who are deep into spiritual life and are also very knowledgeable. Both are good speakers and they will come here to speak in time. But before that, let us have an opening song by Pushpin Dey. This is a Hindi song and let me later on see if I can tell the meaning of it. Just a gist. शारदा देवी विराजे, शारदा देवी विराजे, भुवन पावन नयन मोहन, भुवन पावन नयन मोहन, रूप निरूपम राजे, शारदा देवी विराजे, सुखासीना युक्त करतल, सुखासीना युक्त करतल, श्वेत वसन विभुक्त कुण्डल, सुखासीना युक्त करतल, सुखासीना युक्त करतल, सुखासीना युक्त करतल, श्वेत वसना विभुक्त कुण्डल, मुख कमल नपि ध्यान मंगल, मुख कमल नपि ध्यान मंगल, कोटि मनसि जराजे, शारदा देवी विराजे, भुवन पावन नयन मोहन, रूप निरूपम राजे, शारदा देवी विराजे, प्रेम पूरित करुणलोचन, करत सब दुख तापमोचन, प्रेम पूरित करुणलोचन, करत सब दुख तापमोचन, काटत भव भय वितत संशय, मोह माया माझे, जय जननी जय जननी कालरव, जय जननी जय जननी कालरव, जय जननी जय जननी कालरव, गात जग जन वंदना तव, गात जग जन वंदना तव, जय जननी जय जननी कालरव, गात जग जन
वन्दना तब उठत चित में दीप अनुभव उठत चित में दीप अनुभव हृदय बिना बाजे ए शारदा देवी विराजे भुवन पावन नयन मोहन भुवन पावन नयन मोहन रूप निरूपम राजे शारदा देवी विराजे शारदा देवी विराजे शारदा देवी विराजे.
This was a beautiful song written by Swami Vageshwarananda, and it describes that the Holy Mother Sri Sarada Devi is sitting and is shedding her illumination in the minds of millions of minds, in the minds of many millions, and is there that everybody is calling Jai Janani, Jai Janani, and when her mind full of love, the eyes bringing out that love, it is Prema Purita Karuna Lochana. And then when you see that, all your sufferings, they vanish. And as you progress further with this meditation, then you start getting very special divine experience. So, a very nice song, and thanks Pushpen for presenting it. So now we shall begin the symposium. First speaker would be Ananya Chaudhary. She is a devotee for quite some time now. She has been regularly listening to the lectures and studying the lives of the Holy Trio, and at the professional front, she eats apples. Means she is working at the Apple company. So it is. So I request her to begin her talk.
ॐ जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे त्रयो श्रुत्वा pranamami muhurmuhu. My humble pranams to Maharaj and my namaskars to all of you present here. Let me start with a few lines from one of the most beautiful hymn composed on Holy Mother by Swami Abhedananda ji. प्रकृतिं परमामभयां वरदां नररूपधरां जननीं संतापहरां शरणागतसेवकतोषकरीं प्रणमामि परां जननीं जगताम्. To the divine Shakti embodied in human form, the giver of boons and dispeller of fear, who quenches the fire of misery and fills with joy the hearts of those who take refuge in her. To thee my salutations, O Supreme Being, O Mother of the worlds. Today, we are celebrating the birth anniversary of our beloved Holy Mother, Sri Sharada Devi. Holy Mother, for me, is an emotion, a phenomenon. She is so vast and infinite in every possible way. It is extremely difficult to put into words anything about her and do justice. We see how people get fascinated, enchanted, and captivated by Holy Mother's magnetic personality and gradually become intensely attached to her. How? We do not know. In her mortal body, she led a very simple and modest life, and yet she goes on to become the heart center of the entire Ramakrishna Vedanta movement and the universal mother of all. How is this possible? Who is this woman? In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Janma karma cha me divyam. My birth and actions are of the divine nature. And that is exactly what we see in the life of Holy Mother. If we recall, the divine mother of the universe herself, in the form of a little girl, appears before Holy Mother's mother, hugs her tightly, and tells her, Mother, I'm coming to your home. And with that, Holy Mother's mother feels something powerful entering her body, and she loses consciousness. And that's it. That's how she conceives while Holy Mother's father is away. How wonderful is this divine birth? Just a century ago, cloaking her divinity under the veil of simplicity and humility, and by completely concealing herself, Divine Mother of the Universe herself incarnated. It is impossible for us to comprehend the greatness of this great wonder. But still, on this auspicious day, we will make a humble attempt and try and get a partial glimpse of it. Swami Arupananda, who served Holy Mother for many years, out of sincere curiosity, once asked Mother directly, Mother, who are you really? And she replied, As one thinks of me, so will one get. This reveals the divine capacity of Holy Mother to appear to her devotees in the way they perceived her, be it a human mother, an enlightened soul, guru, or the Divine Mother. Mother always simply wanted to be known only as Mother, so that her children can be intimate with her, feel her as their very own, and approach her just like they would their own mother. But the knowledge of Holy Mother as the Divine Mother is essential for us. For only then we can understand the true purpose of her advent on this mortal plane and find our keys to liberation by surrendering at her feet. Other than the divine birth, how do we know Mother as divine? Because at the outset, she had a very ordinary life, living with her family and relatives and keeping herself busy in all the household chores. How do we know Mother as divine? We know that directly through the words and actions of Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Vivekananda, the direct disciples, and Holy Mother herself. Yatha agne dahika shakti Ramakrishne sthita hiya sarva vidya swarupam tam saradam pranamamyaha. Just like the power to burn resides in the fire itself, similarly all divine power residing in Sri Ramakrishna, and especially that of knowledge and wisdom, when takes the form of divine motherhood, appears before us as Holy Mother Sri Sharada Devi. Sri Ramakrishna reveals the identity of Holy Mother on more than one occasion. He says, "Is she of the common run? She is my Shakti, power. She is Saraswati, full of rarest of wisdom, has come to bestow knowledge on others. But she has descended by covering up her beauty this time, lest unregenerate people should come to grief by looking at her with impure eyes." Holy Mother exhibited divinity right from her girlhood days and lived in constant communion with God silently. Once little Sharda was absorbed in deep meditation before the goddess Jagadhatri in Jairambati. And one of the person present there was awestruck at this sight, and he kept his eyes fixed on the mother for a long time, unable to make out who the real goddess was. Was it the image of Jagadhatri or the little Sharda? He left the place in fear. Just imagine the divine aura that mother manifested at that age. When the time arrived, the divine mother of the universe was awakened in Holy Mother formally, and she started becoming aware of the grand role she was to play in this incarnation. Sri Ramakrishna worshipped her as the Divine Mother on the night of Falaharini Kali Puja and offered all spiritual attainments at her feet, signifying complete surrender. And then onwards, a wonderful change starts blossoming in Mother. And she starts to identify herself with the Divine Mother, the universal mother of all, not just human beings, all beings and creatures. And her love and affection knows no bounds. She says, "If anyone calls me mother, I will not be able to refuse them, whoever that may be, however fallen or wicked they may be." And on different occasions, she says, "Who do you think you are born out of? You are all born out of me. You are all my children." She says, she gives us this assurance, always remember, you have a mother. Is there any other mother other than me? I alone am present in all mothers. Sri Ramakrishna had maternal feeling towards all beings, and Holy Mother says, he left her behind to manifest the divine motherhood of God. Never ever before in the history of all incarnations of God have we seen anything like this. Isn't it astounding? Sri Ramakrishna also warns us about the other side of Holy Mother's true nature. Once Hriday, Sri Ramakrishna's nephew, treated her rudely, and Sri Ramakrishna rebuked him and said, "You may insult me, but don't hurt her feelings. If the one who dwells in this," indicating himself, "hisses, you may somehow be able to get by. But if the one who dwells in her hisses, no one, not even the great Holy Trinity of Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, will be able to protect you." And soon after, Hriday lost his job in the Kali temple. Because of an inappropriate behavior, he was forbidden from entering the temple compounds forever. Being Mahamaya herself, she was very good at keeping her real nature hidden, living amongst everyone as one of them. But those who have eyes have seen it, and those who have ears have heard it. She could impart knowledge and transform lives just by a mere glance of hers, or simply by her will. There are wonderful recorded incidents where Holy Mother graced some of her chosen ones and revealed her divine identity in various forms. Let us reminisce a few of them. Swami Hari Premananda, Haripada Maharaj, recalled that once when he was massaging Mother's feet, he looked at her thin, shriveled foot and wondered how the Mother of the universe could have such an emaciated foot. As he continued stroking her feet, he clearly saw two incomparable, beautiful feet with the red dye alta adoring the feet with gold anklets, inlaid with pearls and precious stones. Whose feet had I been tending? The Swami asked himself. When he tried to look at Mother's face, he saw the image of Jagadhatri. With golden hue, 3 eyes, 4 arms, and decked with numerous ornaments. There was a crown on her head and weapons in her hands. A sublime effulgence radiated from her. Before he had had a good look, he cried out, "Mother, mother," and lost consciousness. This is a beautiful incident of Mother manifesting as the Divine Mother Jagadhatri. In another incident, Mother was once traveling from Kamarpukur to Dakshineshwar, and on the way, she had to pass through the uninhabited, notorious stretches of fields called Telo Bhelo, which were infested with man-hunting robbers. People would not dare to cross them even during the daylight alone. And there's still the Kali temple in the heart of Telo Bhelo, which the robbers would worship before engaging in their nefarious activities. This particular time, Mother, being tired from the long walk, was lagging behind others and was soon all alone by herself in the dark. Just then, she noticed a tall, scary-looking figure emerging out of the darkness and approaching her. She quickly realized he was a robber and, terror-stricken, halted at once. But when the man came very close and looked at Mother's face, there came a sudden change in his demeanor, and he gently assures Mother to not be afraid. Soon enough, they were joined by another woman who was with the robber, and then Mother, with full confidence and affection, addresses them as father and mother and says, "I'm your daughter Sharada. I was in a terrible plight, having been left behind by my companions. Will you kindly take me through them? Your son-in-law lives in the Kali temple at Dakshineshwar. I'm on my way to him. If you take me there, he will treat you very cordially." This simple behavior, extreme confidence, and a kind of sweet disposition conquered the hearts of the robber couple. And they started consoling her as though she was really their own daughter. They took her to a safe place for the night, served her dearly, and united her with her companions the following morning. When the mother later asked her robber parents, "Why, my dears, are you so attached to me?" they replied, "You are not in fact an ordinary mortal, for we saw you as Kali. There is no mistake about what we saw." This is how Mother blessed her Kali-worshipping devotees, appearing as Kali. On another occasion, Harish, a devotee of the Master, visited the Mother at Kamarpukur under the influence of drugs, and one day his lunacy goes completely out of control. So let's hear in Mother's own words. At this time, Harish came and stayed at Kamarpukur. One day, I was returning from a neighboring house. As I stepped into the courtyard, Harish began chasing me. Harish was not in his senses then. His wife had drugged him, and madness had followed upon it. There was nobody else in the house, so where could I escape? In a hurry, I began circling round the barn of Paddy near the Master's birthplace, but Harish would not give up the chase. After going round for 7 times, I could run no longer. Then I stood firm and assumed my own stature. And then, placing my knee on his chest and taking hold of his tongue, I slapped him on his cheek so hard that he began to gasp for breath. My fingers became red. This time, she literally took the form of Divine Mother Bagala to punish the evil in the person of Harish. This compels us to think how the Holy Mother, who was known all along for her modesty, gentleness, and mercy, could become merciless, exhibit tremendous power, and vanquish all evil. And this punishment cured Harish forever. And just like these incidents, she appeared in the dreams of many as the Divine Mother Saraswati and imparted the mantra and gave them spiritual guidance. Many of these people did not even know the existence of Holy Mother at that point in their lives. They had never heard of her, they had never met her. But when they finally met her in person, they could not believe their eyes. This was the same divine motherly form that had appeared in their dreams. Swami Vivekananda had the utmost respect, reverence, and devotion for Holy Mother, which came from his profound recognition of Holy Mother as the embodiment of wisdom, purity, divinity, and the compassionate mother of all. He wrote to his brother disciple, "Let Ramakrishna disappear. That does not frighten me. But it will be a calamity if people forget Mother. None of you has understood Mother. Her grace upon me is 100,000 times greater than that of the Master. We see how, after conquering the whole world with the message of Vedanta, Swamiji attunes himself mentally to be in the divine presence of Holy Mother. He constantly drinks and bathes in Ganges water to purify himself. And when he meets Mother, he bows down fully, surrendering to his spiritual mother and guide, sits at her feet, presents her with devotional offerings, and seeks guidance in spiritual matters. He knew she had a gigantic role to play in the formation and sustenance of the Ramakrishna order and was the spiritual force behind the mission he was carrying out, all while remaining in the background. He says, if there is ever any power in me, it is the Mother who is working through me. If we think about it, there are significant events in the history of Ramakrishna order which was shaped solely due to Holy Mother's directional guidance. If Swami Vivekananda today came to America to spread the message of Vedanta, it was because he sought permission from Holy Mother and she gave him that permission, because Swamiji was still in doubts whether to go or not to go. If today we have the Belur Mutt and all other monasteries, it is because of the prayers of Holy Mother. When she went to Gaya and saw monasteries for Buddhist monks, she prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed so that her children could also have the same. If Belur Mutt got saved after the terrible plague that hit Bengal, because Swamiji was all ready to sell it, but it was Holy Mother who prevented it, reminding him that Belur Mutt was meant for the spiritual awakening of all, and in the years and centuries to come, it will do many more such service work. If today we are fortunate to have the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, the direct words and daily life accounts of an incarnation of God, it is because of Holy Mother. Holy Mother instructed and encouraged M to write it in detail and publish it. If today we know the key message Sri Ramakrishna stood for, it is because of Holy Mother. Was it the harmony of all religions? Mother says no. Renunciation was the key message of Sri Ramakrishna. Are we followers of Dvaita Vedanta or Advaita Vedanta? Mother says Sri Ramakrishna was Advaita himself. So you are all followers of Advaita Vedanta. There were these deep questions in the minds of devotees and disciples after Sri Ramakrishna's passing away. So who is the authority who will clarify these questions? Mother is that authority. If Swamiji is today worshipped on the same altar as Sri Ramakrishna and Holy Mother, it is because Holy Mother who clarified the position that Swamiji holds, which is on the crown of Sri Ramakrishna, so he indeed must be worshipped along with Sri Ramakrishna. If today we have the Sarada Mutt for women, it is because of Holy Mother as the inspiration and the ideal of womanhood. Swamiji firmly believed anyone who sought her guidance would find the highest truth and peace, and he always encouraged his brother disciples to look upon her as the spiritual mother, the universal mother of all, and seek refuge in her boundless grace and wisdom. Worshipped as the living goddess during her lifetime, which Swamiji himself started, Holy Mother guided all, not just through her words, but by her very being and actions. The Divine Mother of the universe herself incarnated as Holy Mother Sri Sarada Devi to awaken the infinite power within all of us, demonstrate the motherhood of God, and open our doors to liberation. I'll end with Swami Premanandaji's words on Holy Mother, the direct disciple of Sri Ramakrishna. Who knows Mother? Who can know her? You have heard of great women like Sita, Savitri, and Sri Radha, but Mother has surpassed all of them. She keeps her superhuman power hidden. In the Master, at least the glory of knowledge was manifest, and he used to go frequently into Samadhi, but Mother holds all these powers suppressed within herself. What a tremendous personality to keep all her powers in such control. Don't you see how hundreds and thousands of people are flocking to her? She possesses infinite power, Shakti, and benignity. Have you not noticed how the Empress of the universe is playing the part of beggar woman at Jairambati? Cleaning the house, washing utensils, winnowing rice, and even removing the plates of her devotees after they have taken their food. Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, the embodiment of Shakti, the Divine Mother. Jai Ma.
What a beautiful, illuminating talk. Thank you, dear Ananya. And the next and the last speaker of today's symposium is a well-known face here. He has spoken here multiple times. A wonderful speaker with great thinking behind it. He is actually an all-round personality, does so many things. And you will see him operating their sound system and the webcasting every Friday. You can see him doing the garden work when it comes to spring, summer. It is, and he's such a thoughtful person. So I'm very happy that he agreed to speak on this occasion. Dear Ajay, please come forward.
The Mother Heart. A central theme when studying the lives and teachings of Sri Ramakrishna, Sri Sarada Devi, and Swami Vivekananda is their profound spiritual unity. This concept of their oneness is explored in various ways throughout the literature of this tradition, and it aligns with a broader historical trend in Hindu spirituality. Swami Yatishwarananda observes that after the Rigvedic period, there was a significant shift in the focus of Hindu worship. Earlier primary deities like Indra, Mitra, and Varuna were gradually replaced by Shiva, Vishnu, and Devi as the central figures of devotion. He further explains that each deity embodies distinct cosmic principles. Shiva symbolizes the path of renunciation, serves as the destroyer of negative forces, and represents pure divine awareness. Vishnu stands as the all-pervading divine presence, overseeing the cosmic cycles of creation, sustenance, and dissolution. Devi is the universal intelligence, expressing itself through all cosmic phenomena and processes. In the holy trio, these divine principles take human form. Sri Ramakrishna as Lord Vishnu, Sri Sarada Devi as the Divine Mother, and Swami Vivekananda as the great god Shiva. Together, they form a complete picture of the Supreme Godhead. The profound unity of the Holy Trio reveals itself through their complementary spiritual contributions to humanity. As Swami Sarvagatananda explains, Ramakrishna is truth in its totality, God in his fullness. Vivekananda presents that truth in a philosophical and scientific way that any rational person can accept. Holy Mother is an exemplar. She followed Ramakrishna's teachings to perfection and embodied them for all to see. End quote. The Holy Trio's interconnection can also be seen in their sequential roles in fostering spiritual awakening. Sri Ramakrishna laid the foundation through his 12 years of rigorous spiritual practices, awakening the Brahma Kundalini and gathering a core group of dedicated disciples to perpetuate his spiritual legacy. Building on this foundation, Swami Vivekananda organized Sri Ramakrishna's teachings into a cohesive philosophical framework and established the organizational structure of the Ramakrishna order. Sri Sarada Devi created a nurturing atmosphere that was essential for the survival and growth of this nascent movement. Her steadfast devotion and selfless service were vital to its development. In this way, the Holy Trio form a harmonious sequence, each contributing in turn to the spiritual awakening of humanity. Beyond intellectual interpretations of the Holy Trio, I wish to share a more heart-centered understanding. Swami Tapasyananda describes Anugraha Shakti as the divine redemptive force that manifests repeatedly to uplift humanity. I refer to it as the Mother Heart, a presence of infinite intelligence and pure love. This Mother Heart manifests as divine personalities like the Holy Trio and is the eternal soul of all living beings. Sri Ramakrishna's extraordinary spiritual states, his complete renunciation, and frequent immersion in transcendental consciousness might lead us to view him as distant or removed from ordinary human experience. Yet, he was the very embodiment of boundless love and selfless service to others. Mahendranath Gupta writes, "People flocked to the Master day and night. In spite of the excruciating pain in his throat, he welcomed them all with a cheerful face. There seemed to be no limit to his solicitude for their welfare. His face beamed as he talked to them about God." End quote. With Sri Ramakrishna as our guide and ideal, we learn the importance of selflessness in spiritual life. Swami Sarvagatananda once remarked, "When anyone told Sri Ramakrishna that someone was spiritual, he always asked, 'Does he love people? Does he care for people?'" End quote. This perspective reflects the essence of the Mother Heart. Swami Vivekananda was a brilliant thinker, an inspiring orator, and a visionary monk. He founded a monastic order devoted to spiritual realization and the service of humanity. His extraordinary spiritual stature is evident in a revelation shared by Swami Shivananda near the end of his life. Swamiji came. What a radiant figure he had. He said, "Brother Tarak, I came before as Buddha, and you came as Ananda. Do you remember all that? The play is over this time. Now let us go." End quote. Based on the testimony of a realized soul, we can affirm that Swami Vivekananda was the reincarnation of Lord Buddha, the all-compassionate one. Sharat Chandra Chakravarti recounts a touching incident that reveals Swamiji's profound compassion. Swamiji was now in a sort of deep reverie when Girish Babu suddenly called out to him and said, "Well, hear me please. A good deal of study you have made in the Vedas and Vedanta, but say, did you find anywhere in them any way for us out of all these profound miseries in the country? All these wailings of grief, all this starvation, all these crimes of adultery and the many horrible sins." Saying this, he painted over and over again the horrid pictures of society. Swamiji remained perfectly quiet and speechless, while at the thought of the sorrows and miseries of his fellow men, tears began to flow out of his eyes, and seemingly to hide his feeling from us, he rose and left the room. Meanwhile, addressing the disciple, Girish Babu said, "Did you see Bengal? What a great loving heart. I don't honor your Swamiji simply for being a pundit versed in the Vedas, but I honor him for that great heart of his, which just made him retire weeping at the sorrows of his fellow beings." End quote. This profound love and compassion for all living beings is the essence of the Mother Heart. The spiritual principle, what you are is what you see, finds perfect expression in Sri Sarada Devi, who is a pristine mirror reflecting our innermost divine nature. Through her pure reflection, we can see beyond our imperfections, errors, and illusions to discover her presence within, the very essence of our beings. Sister Nivedita beautifully captures the Mother Heart. Surely, you are the most wonderful thing of God, Sri Ramakrishna's own chalice of his love for the world, a token left with his children in these lonely days. And we should be very still and quiet before you, except indeed for a little fun. Surely, the wonderful things of God are all quiet, stealing unnoticed into our lives. The air, sunlight, the sweetness of gardens and of the Ganges. These are the silent things that are like you. End quote. Swami Vireshwarananda provides a moving account of Sri Sarada Devi's transformative presence. On the day we arrived in Jarambati, Holy Mother was standing there on the veranda of her home, waiting for us. She asked us to wash our hands and gave us a towel to dry them. Then she asked us to bathe our feet, and she helped us. We were transformed into children in her presence, and she was none other than the Mother of the universe. But as soon as Mother sent us out into the village, our egos came to the surface. Such was it like to be in the presence of Holy Mother. End quote. The life of an incarnation exists at the nexus of the individual and the cosmic. For instance, Sri Ramakrishna's spiritual practices, though undertaken within the confines of an individual human body, were guided by the cosmic mind and resonated with the collective consciousness of humanity. This perspective offers a deeper understanding of how incarnations accomplish their vast and profound mission. I will now examine one dimension of the Holy Trio's divine purpose. Swami Bhajanananda writes, "The ancient Vedic rishis saw the whole world permeated by consciousness and bliss. The blowing of the wind, the flowing rivers, trees, plants, the sun, the cattle, everything in the universe was a source of joy for them. In later centuries, partly owing to the influence of Buddhism, this integral vision of reality and positive outlook on life gave way to the general tendency to stress the illusoriness of the world and the impermanence and miseries of life." End quote. Sri Ramakrishna's interactions with Totapuri symbolizes the restoration of the Vedic seer's comprehensive vision. While Totapuri had achieved an advanced level of realization, it was still partial and incomplete. In their spiritual exchange, Sri Ramakrishna guided Totapuri beyond his limited understanding to embrace the all-encompassing Vedic wisdom that harmonizes knowledge and devotion. Swami Saradananda beautifully captures the transformative moment. Totapuri almost reached the other bank, but could not find deep enough water to drown himself. When the trees and houses on the other bank of the river gradually began to be visible, like shadows in the deep darkness of night, someone, as it were from within, pulled off the veil covering his intellect, and Totapuri's mind was dazzled by a bright light, and he saw Mother everywhere. Mother in the land, Mother in the water, Mother as life, Mother as death, Mother as the supreme fourth, Turiya, devoid of all attributes. That one whom Totapuri had so long been worshiping as Brahman was revealed to his inner eye as none other than this very mother herself. Brahman and Brahma Shakti are one and the same. Overwhelmed with the unprecedented joy arising from the experience of Bhava Samadhi, Totapuri went slowly to the holy fire under the Panchavati and spent the rest of the night in meditation and repetition of the name of the Divine Mother, calling her Amba, 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 end quote. The transformation of Totapuri represents far more than a personal spiritual awakening. He is a symbol of the fragmentation within Vedantic thought, the competing schools, and their fundamental disagreements about the nature of God, the world, and the soul. The Holy Trio worked in harmony to address this fragmentation. Sri Ramakrishna guided Totapuri to the profound realization of Vijnana, a state where all apparent contradictions between the absolute and relative, the eternal and temporal, dissolve into perfect unity. Upon this foundation, Swami Vivekananda developed his practical Vedanta, translating these profound mystical insights into practical guidelines for everyday life. Sri Sarada Devi captured the heart of Vijnana in two profound teachings. No one is a stranger, and through work alone can one remove the bondage of work. Sri Sarada Devi's teaching that no one is a stranger points to the fundamental unity of all existence. The universe is an ocean of intelligence within which all transient forms and phenomena emerge as dynamic expressions. This understanding reveals that the Vedantic concept of Chit Jara Granti, the supposed division between pure consciousness and inert matter, serves as a useful tool for spiritual practice, but is not an absolute truth. The ultimate reality contains no such divisions, as Sri Ramakrishna expressed. It has been revealed to me that there exists an ocean of consciousness without limit. From it come all things of the relative plane, and in it they merge again. End quote. This insight restores the original unified vision of the Vedic seers, expressed in the Chandogya Upanishad's declaration, Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. All that exists is Brahman. Sri Sarada Devi's teaching that through work alone can one remove the bondage of work captures the core principles of Buddhi Yoga as outlined in the Bhagavad Gita. The bondage Mother refers to arises from selfish desire, and its release comes through unselfish, loving service. While Buddhi is commonly mistranslated as intellect, the intellect itself is a relatively crude instrument. History is replete with examples of individuals of high intellect, such as financial fraudsters and warmongering politicians, who have inflicted immense suffering on humanity. As Swami Sarvagatananda explains, conscience is the light of the soul. The intellect rationalizes about wrong and right, but it is the light within that illumines the picture. In a dark room, we must turn the light on to see the way to the door before the intellect can decide whether to go the right or the wrong way. End quote. The way we work must focus on awakening and fortifying conscience. When we dedicate our efforts to the betterment of society, recognizing the divine essence in each living being, we progressively free ourselves from selfish motives and purify our intentions. This process makes our minds increasingly transparent to the light of conscience. Conscience operates on a higher plane of intelligence than intellect. While intellect functions through reason, conscience works through intuition. As we enliven and purify conscience, we unlock deeper creativity and vitality while expanding our hearts to embrace a broader scope of existence. Character integrity emerges from conscience. The harmony between our thoughts, words, and actions. Swami Shivananda noted that Sri Ramakrishna found only two transgressions intolerable: the deception of oneself and the practice of hypocrisy. In closing, I would like to offer a quote from Swami Asheshananda that has deeply shaped my understanding of the Mother Heart. Therefore, I believe, as long as I follow Holy Mother's footprints and I'm true to the mantra she has given me out of her infinite grace, I will be able to do the work she has given me, at least to my own satisfaction. You see, unless a man is satisfied within himself, he cannot give real satisfaction to others. Only light can give light. Jai Ma.
So, friends, as expected, we got to hear two great speeches elucidating the life of Holy Mother, the very special features of how she is so relevant to us philosophically as well as practically. That it is the Holy Mother who we have to hold on to, as the last quote of is by Ashesha, that he quoted Asheshanandaji, a Holy Mother's disciple who was here in Portland for a long time. He was posted there and then he never went back to India, not even once. So that Holy Mother says that how he looks upon Holy Mother as the ideal. Don't leave that. As long as you don't leave that, then you are on the right track. Just we were having this video in the afternoon. One talk at Belur Math was being heard, and there this particular point was being elucidated, that Holy Mother telling her attendant that don't leave me and go, don't leave me. It is because, and then the speaker explained that once you leave the divine, then you will lose the path. That's so, to hold on to the path, one has to hold on to God, the ideal. So that is the important point, to hold on to the Holy Mother, the comprehensive reality, which is deeper, profound. Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Vivekananda, and Holy Mother, the most enigmatic and in a way very difficult to understand is the life of Holy Mother. Because other things do too, Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda are to some extent at least manifest. Their divinity, their great works are obvious. But Holy Mother, it is not easy, and yet nobody, neither Sri Ramakrishna nor Swami Vivekananda, have cast a deeper influence than Holy Mother has cast on the lives of people, how she molded the life, not seen. Sometimes I feel that Sri Ramakrishna was like the powerhouse, where the power is generated. And Swami Vivekananda is like the appliances through whom this power gets manifest. Like the light bulbs and the sound system, the heating system, all that. It manifests the power that is getting generated in different types of, manufacturing unit, power manufacturing unit, hydroelectric or thermal or windmills or whatever, the solar panels. That is visible. This also is visible. But the wires that carry that everywhere, see, you don't see those wires. They are invisible. And yet, they do the great work of actually bringing that power to get its manifestation. That is Holy Mother. This manifesting or bringing the power in our lives, that not seen but so effective. It is Holy Mother's life is an example of that type, so hidden from the outer world, but yet divine. Sri Ramakrishna worships her. Imagine, if you look upon, study her life, she was always holding Sri Ramakrishna as God. And yet, Sri Ramakrishna worships her. It is the Shodashi Puja is a great, unique example in the world's history of spiritual ministration, that the incarnation of God has worshipped his, in a way, wife with all articles and went into Samadhi. Swami Sardananda and others describe that as at the end of the worship, both were in Samadhi. Once Holy Mother was asked that in the worship, the worshipper adorns the deity to be worshipped with a new cloth. And so somebody asked, were you not feeling very much ashamed, shy? Did you not feel shy when Sri Ramakrishna was changing your clothes? And Holy Mother says, I was not at all conscious what was happening. She had actually become the goddess Shodashi. So it is, she was not a human, constant changing of the form, and yet, and not like Sri Ramakrishna going into Samadhi again and again. An incident that Swami Sridharananda has narrated multiple times. A very touching incident. Swami Sridharananda just a couple of days ago became 100 years old. He is in Australia now. So he says that once he asked a disciple of Holy Mother, Swami Shantananda, seemingly a simple question, that we read about Sri Ramakrishna's falling in samadhi, going into samadhi, coming out of samadhi. Now and then, Sri Ramakrishna, this is a constant phenomena, as it were, that suddenly he would lose the outer consciousness, would be established in samadhi, and then coming out from samadhi. It is not possible for ordinary people at all. Sridharanandji asked this question. We do not read anything like this in Holy Mother's life. But since you were serving Holy Mother, have you seen her going into samadhi like this? And Shantananda, as if agitated and angry, replies, "You are a fool." And now Sridharananda was thinking, what wrong did I do? Just ask this simple question, that have you seen Holy Mother going into samadhi like this, like Sri Ramakrishna? And why he is scolding me, "Hey, you are a fool"? He again repeated, again got a stronger rebuke. And then he said, "Look, as what Holy Mother was. It is through her grace that others could get samadhi. And you are asking if she was getting samadhi." Ananya has quoted that passage from Swami Premananda, that it is she who would grant samadhi. It is not that she could suppress all that. It requires far more power to suppress that samadhi and be in the world, talking with people, and doing the most ordinary chores of life. Just regular chores of life were being done, and yet she was fully established in the perfect divinity. The divine power was tremendously manifest there. So many beautiful incidents we heard from Ananya that it is actually superfluous to add some, but there was another one beautiful incident. Shibu, her nephew, was going with her. It was evening. They were walking to Jairambati, and then Shibu was following her. Suddenly, mother saw that Shibu has stopped. "Hey, come Shibu, tell me who you are." "Well, what? You know me, come on." "Okay, then you go, I am not coming." And then now mother was in a fix what to say. "Oh, I am your aunt Saru. What is more to be told? I am Sarada. It is, no, then you go. I am not coming." So that elicited that from Holy Mother's mouth. "Oh, I am Kali." Means she said, "Some people call me Kali." That is what Shivu actually saw. That Holy Mother appearing as Kali. She was walking ahead of Shivu, and Shivu saw, "Oh, here she is, the Kali, Mother Kali walking." So it is, and so many others have seen that. Girish Chandra had seen her like that. So she is both so simple a human being. Many times there are such wonderful incidents where people got, confused that somebody came to meet her, and then there was this Gulab Ma there, one of the attendants of Holy Mother, and then she she had a regal bearing, Gulab Ma. So, where is Holy Mother? We came to see Holy Mother. No, Holy Mother, then Gulab Ma pointed out to her, and she was not looking. Holy Mother was in the most ordinary appearance, doing the regular chores of household chores. So they did not, that lady did not think that she is Holy Mother. And when still she went there, and Holy Mother points out to her, and it is a humorous thing, She is Holy Mother, points to Gulab Ma. And then they had back and forth like that. And then ultimately Gulab Ma said, "Can you are such a fool, are you not able to recognize the divine face?" And then what this lady saw, who knows, she went to Holy Mother. So many lessons of our day-to-day spiritual life, practice of spiritual life are seen there. No complaints at all. Otherwise, our lives are full of complaints, resentments. See what Holy Mother had to live. It is how she lived in a small room in Dakshineshwar, Nahabat. It is so small a room. You can go and see. That is, even now there you can find out that, oh, if you are told, oh, you have to live there. No, no. Are you kidding? I cannot live in such a small space. Holy Mother lived there, cooked there for so many devotees coming to see Sri Ramakrishna. Never complained. It is, and was not seen at all. No outer expression that nobody knew. She was so bashful. It is a great quality that somehow that is considered in Sanskrit literature. It is told that is the a great adornment or ornament of female, that bashfulness. It is, and Holy Mother did it to such perfection. The treasurer and officers at Dakshineshwar, they said, "We know, we have heard that she lives here, but we have never seen her." It is because she was not visible to people. She would go out to finish her, the morning ablutions before anybody woke up. One has to go those days outside. There were no attached bathrooms, It is, yes, one Swami said that, well, people come these days to practice detachment but demand attached bathroom. So it is. Those days, those things were unheard of. In fact, not even in the within that building, you have to go walk and go in somewhat, the lonely wooded area. So she would do that and come back without anybody noticing her doing that. And it continued. When she was called to be at Shampukur house to help Sri Ramakrishna's cooking, there was no room for women to stay there. So upstairs, some room was found, but the facilities were somewhere else. And so, now what did she do? Okay, She used to wake up and do all those things very early at 3 a.m. Now she started doing it at 2 a.m. It is so the idea is you have to mold yourself without giving up the ideal. This is something one has to learn in spiritual life, that mold yourself so that your ideal will not be compromised. Your convenience would be compromised, but not your ideal. Ordinary trend is that I will not compromise with my convenience and comforts. The ideal has to tally with my comforts and conveniences. So one can never ever become a spiritual aspirant with that kind of attitude. It is, and Holy Mother tells us, shows us actually by doing it, that circumstances will come, different situations will appear in life, and there would be temptation to defer the ideal. That okay, in this situation it is impossible to meditate, in this condition it is impossible to wake up early. But look at Holy Mother. It is what a great lesson, objective, practical lesson that we see in her life, that yes, you can sacrifice your comforts. Don't sacrifice the ideal. It is whenever, I feel, oh, it is now very difficult. It is too cold or it is too hot. Funny how our mind keeps on cheating us. It appears that in winter we like summer and in summer we like winter. It is. So look at this Holy Mother's life. Whatever may be the situation, that is not under our control. But change your life so that the ideal remains intact. It is actually a teaching of psycho-cybernetics, that cybernetic systems are like that. Like for here, we have adjusted the temperature. So here you are feeling that it is fairly okay, warm. Outside temperature maybe in teens. So, but how this system changes itself so that whatever may be the temperature outside, here you will have whatever set temperature is 65 or 67. So that temperature remains the same. So our march towards ideal must remain intact, irrespective of these circumstances outside. There could be very friendly people around, there could be troublesome neighbors around, there could be scarcity of many things, and yet one must hold on to the ideal without bringing up excuses. We are, all of us have PhD in excuse findings. So it is, immediately some excuse will come up. But no, look at Holy Mother. Never ever gave an excuse, always held on to the ideal supreme without any complaint, without any resentments. This is a training that we have to give to our mind. And do not build resentments. Otherwise, we keep on collecting resentments. As we advance in age, the heap of resentments in our mind also keeps on becoming bigger and bigger. till we become just a heap of resentment. So, therefore, we must see that no resentments and no complaints. Just hold on to the ideal and march in that direction. Such a practical lesson was that life. And so today, we have been worshipping Holy Mother in various ways. Now the ceremony is almost over. We will have a Sankirtan on Holy Mother in a few minutes. But I'll conclude here with just telling you about the coming week's programs. Coming Tuesday, that is day after tomorrow, we shall have a Christmas Eve celebration, which is in our order a very important celebration. You will find every center of Ramakrishna Mission has this Christmas Eve celebration. Why? We will know it on Tuesday. Yeah, so it is. And then Friday class that will go on as usual on the Bhagavatam, stories from Srimad Bhagavatam. It would be 184th class. So, and on coming Sunday, what is the topic coming Sunday? Do you know? Huh? Huh? I don't remember. And that no. What is it? Universal. It is there. Huh? That's a mystery. Okay. Some topic is there. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Thank you. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Hope you have heard this saying sometimes. Okay. And then there is the New Year Day, Kalpataru Day celebration on January 1st. So, thank you, friends, and let us conclude with the closing prayers. Oh, there will be the closing prayers. Yeah, I'm trying to turn it on. It was on. You turned it off. Now you, now you, now you turned it off. Yeah, that is how these instruments are, I sympathize with Charlie. I am also in that same category. I don't understand much of those. Uh, when thing is on, when thing is off, I don't know. My mind turns off when I try to deal with those situations. So, closing prayer. It is now, it has that owl has to wake up. May the divine, who is Father in heaven of the Christians, Holy One of the Jewish faith, Allah of the Muslims, Buddha of the Buddhists, Tao of the Taoists, Great Spirit of the Native Americans, Ahur Mazda of the Zoroastrians, and Brahman of the Hindus, lead us from the unreal to the real, from darkness to light, from death to immortality. May the all-loving being manifest himself unto us and grant us abiding understanding and all-consuming divine love. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. The Sankirtan will be conducted from there, but you can listen from here as well. You can sing from here as well. I love, friends, the words of this particular Sankirtan hymn because it brings both the features of Divine Mother and features of Holy Mother, both given together as if there is no distinction between them. And the tune is very simple. By hearing once or twice, one or two stanzas, you will be able to follow easily. हृदम्बुजे देवी तरुणारुणविग्रहां
वराभयकरां शान्तां स्मितोत्फुल्लमुखाम्बुजां
प्रतीकाश पादाम्भोज सुशोभनां शुक्लाम्बरधरां धीरां लज्जापट विभूषिताम् प्रसन्नां धर्मकामार्थ मोक्षदां विश्वमङ्गलां स्वनाथवामभागस्थां भक्तानुग्रहकारिणीम् ॐ सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपिण्यै श्री शारदा देव्यै नमः।
त्वं मे ब्रह्म सनातनी मां शारदैश्वरि सुभगे मां। त्वं मे ब्रह्म सनातनी मां शारदैश्वरि सुभगे मां। ब्रह्मानन्दस्वरूपिणी मां ब्रह्मशक्ति सुखदायिनी मां सच्चित् सुखमय रूपिणी मां सृष्टि स्थिति लयकारिणी मां। ब्रह्मसुधां बुद्धिकेलिनी मां ब्रह्मात्मैक्य शुभङ्करी मां जीवेश्वरभिर्कौतुकी मां अगाधलीलारूपिणी मां। त्वं मे ब्रह्म सनातनी मां शारदैश्वरि सुभगे मां। चिन्मय रूप विलासिनी मां बहिरान्तरसुखवर्धिनि मां ज्ञानानन्दप्रवर्षिणि मां दिव्यरसामृतवर्षिणि मां मूलाधारनिवासिनि मां सहस्रार शिवसङ्गिनि मां आदिशक्तिस्वरूपिणि मां चित्तिसुखदायिनि तारिणि मां त्वं मे ब्रह्म सनातनि मां शारदैश्वरि सुभगे मां शुभमतिदायिनि शाङ्करि मां दुर्गति दुर्मतिनाशिनि मां महाकालहृदिनर्दिनि मां जीव शिवान्तरवर्तिनि मां जगज्जननि जयदायिनि मां तडिल्लसिद्धसौदामिनि मां सीतारामकारिणि मां कृष्णराधिकारूपिणि मां त्वं मे ब्रह्म सनातनि मां शारदैश्वरि सुभगे रमणीयाकृतिधारिणि मां भवसागरभयहारिणि मां शान्तिसौख्यचिरदायिनि मां क्रान्तिमहागुणवर्षिणि मां कान्तिवराभयदायिनि मां गिरिशाङ्गोपरिवासिनि मां हरार्धनारी रूपिणि मां नटनमहेश्वर सङ्गिनि मां त्वं मे ब्रह्म सनातनि मां शारदैश्वरि सुभगे मां हर हर्षोत्करिनर्दिनि मां शारदेश्वरी षोडशी मां साधकमानसशोधिनि मां सर्वसौभाग्यप्रसादिनि मां गुहगजमुखजनिदायिनि मां एकानेकविभागिनि मां हिमगिरिनन्दिनि लासिनि मां सर्वचराचरसर्जिनि मां त्वं मे ब्रह्म सनातनि मां शारदैश्वरि सुभगे मां सर्वभवारिणि मां सर्वजगत्त्रयसाक्षिणि मां निखिलाधीश्वरि योगिनि मां एलागन्धसुकेशिनि मां चिन्मयसुन्दररूपिणि मां परमानन्दतरङ्गिणि मां रम्यकान्तिचिरधारिणि मां समस्तसुगुणाभूषणि मां त्वं मे ब्रह्म सनातनी मां शारद ईश्वरी सुभगे मां सद्गति सन्मतिदायिनी मां भवतारिणी करुणेश्वरी मां त्रिपुरे सुन्दरी मोहिनी मां ब्रह्माण्डोदरधारिणी मां प्रेमानन्दप्रवर्षिणी मां सर्वचराचरपालिनी मां भुवन चतुर्दश प्रसविणी मां नानालीलाकारिणी मां त्वं मे ब्रह्म सनातनी मां शारद ईश्वरी सुभगे मां विविध विभूति विधारिणी मां ज्ञानालोकप्रदायिनी मां विश्वक्रीडा कौतुकी मां विश्वाधिष्ठितचिन्मयी मां मन्दस्मितस्मरहारिणी मां भक्तानुग्रहकारिणी मां योगभोगवरदायिनी मां शान्तिसुधानिस्यन्दिनी मां त्वं मे ब्रह्म सनातनी मां शारद ईश्वरी सुभगे मां भातियोगविषहारिणी मां कान्तियोगसुखदायिनी मां वीरनरेन्द्रप्रहर्षिणी मां समाधिथिरचितिदायिनी मां वीर्यबलाभयकारिणी मां तापत्रयभयहारिणी मां सर्वतुङ्गसुवासिनी मां प्रसन्नवरदे भैरवी मां त्वं मे ब्रह्म सनातनी मां शारद ईश्वरी सुभगे मां हवन जपाचर साधिनी मां चण्डासुरखलघातिनी मां सकलदेवसय साधिनी मां दुष्टमुण्डवधकारिणी मां चामुण्डेश्वरी दर्पिणी मां माहिषदर्पविनाशिनी मां माहेश्वरसुखवर्धिनी मां महिषासुरकलमर्दिनी मां मे ब्रह्म सनातनी मां शारद ईश्वरी सुभगे मां त्रिगुणत्रिलोकत्रिरूपिणी मां निर्गुणसगुणविचित्रिणी मां कारितध्यानानन्दिनी मां दर्पणचित्तविभासिनी मां चेतोदर्पणकाशिनी मां नवनवरूपसुदर्शिनी मां समस्तलोकोद्धारिणी मां रामकृष्णनवरूपिणी मां मे ब्रह्म सनातनी मां शारद ईश्वरी सुभगे धर्मग्लानि विनाशिनी मां धर्मस्थापनकारिणी मां रम्यसहजपथदर्शिनि मां मातृभावसुखशोधिनि मां निर्मलभक्तोत्कर्षिणि मां दिव्याद्भुतचरितार्थिनि मां रामकृष्णसहधर्मिणि मां जय रामाख्यसुभाषिणि मां मे ब्रह्म सनातनि मां सारद ईश्वरि सुभगे मां मृगकेसरि वाहिनि मां दुर्गहिमाचलनन्दिनि मां नरेन्द्रहृदयनिवासिनि मां लोकोत्तरकृतिदर्शिनि मां सुन्दररूपविकासिनि मां दिव्यगुणाकरधारिणि मां दुर्बलसबलसुकारिणि मां दुःखदैन्यभयनाशिनि मां मे ब्रह्म सनातनि मां शारद ईश्वरि सुभगे मां सर्वभूतहितसाधिनि मां समस्तलोकोभयकरि मां दुर्गतिनाशिनि दुर्गे मां नारायणि जगदाधे मां जय 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 जगदाधे मां नारायणि जय दुर्गे मां जय 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 जगदाधे मां नारायणि जय दुर्गे मां जय 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 जगदाधे मां नारायणि जय दुर्गे मां जय 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 जगदाधे मां नारायणि जय दुर्गे मां जय 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 जगदाधे मां नारायणि जय दुर्गे मां जय 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 जगदाधे मां नारायणि जय दुर्गे मां मे ब्रह्म सनातनि मां शारद ईश्वरि सुभगे मां
यथाग्नेर्दाहिका शक्ति रामकृष्णे स्थिता हि या सर्वविद्यास्वरूपां तां शारदां प्रणमाम्यहम्। जय श्री रामकृष्ण देव की जय। जय श्री शारदा देवी की जय। जय श्री स्वामी विवेकानंद की जय। जय श्री बुद्ध देव की जय। जय श्री जीसस क्राइस्ट की जय। We shall meditate for a few minutes and then go down for taking the prasad supper.